This is Monster Hunter Wilds. We're here on PlayStation 5 Pro, taking a look at the Beta 2. I know, right? Kind of exciting. Your likes, the subscribings, all that great stuff. Anyways, yeah, so this is not representative of, like, the final game, but I thought it would be neat to take a look at this and kind of talk about where it is, because it's quite interesting. At this point in time, the PlayStation 5 Pro Enhanced update is not applied to this game, but they will be using Pisser when the game comes out. So it's kind of neat because you're basically seeing the PlayStation 5 version sort of giving you overhead here on this platform. It's quite neat because a lot of people will just be like, every game, oh, there's no difference, you know, blah, blah. But, like, people are, you know, I don't want to say it, but anyways, so it's kind of funny because this is a really good example of, like, a game that's showing a little bit more of what actually can be kind of done just by, like, having something that's a little bit more powerful running the game. And as I said, they have noted that, like, this is going to be enhanced greatly for the full release of the game. Like, they're going to have Pisser, it's going to have a few different graphical modes. Hopefully we'll be revisiting that at the launch, so stay tuned, which will be quite exciting. But for now, we're kind of taking a look at it and just kind of seeing how the extra little bonus can kind of benefit this game, which is really, really cool. So yeah, I didn't have the Pro early, so I wasn't able to take a look at the first beta with this. And these are mostly, like, betas these days, a lot of people really don't get that they're not there to, like, actually test, like, bugs and everything like that. Well, they kind of are, but they're mostly network testing, and they're mostly kind of used as promotional things for a lot of games. This is more for network, but like COD, when they do betas, it's for promotion. that's the whole point of it. Yes, they might catch a bug or here or there along the way, but these are older builds usually. They're just kind of giving you glimpses of the games. So yeah, full launch will look way better than this, run way better than this on the Pro, and you'll have the full capabilities of Pisser. You'll get to see that midriff, like, oh, and those, you know, that valley there. It's going to be tops. You won't even appreciate it till the full game comes out, I'm telling you now. So anyways, yeah, so for now, it's actually quite neat because this beta just kind of, like, runs unchecked, which is kind of funny. So we've got the performance mode on right now because I think the resolution mode will be a little bit more tolerable in this game, or beta at the moment. So yeah, currently it's just 1080p, but it's like a rough 1080p with some temporal stuff. Like, it's, you know, like, it's blurry, but it actually goes above 60 FPS. Okay, I'm just good with these guys. Hold the touchpad. Yeah, let's get into it. Yeah, so it actually goes above 60 FPS. It could go underneath still because, yeah, this version is just, like, rough optimization wise. So, like, it could go up to something like, theoretically, it could go to 120 FPS because it's uncapped. But, like, you're probably in ideal scenarios going to get up to, like, 80-ish, and then, like, during intense scenarios, a lot of it'll be 60, sometimes going lower. And if you're on the base PlayStation 5, it's going to be, like, hopefully 60 FPS. But it is, like, it's blur. I don't know how well that shows up on YouTube, but it's like, it is like a pasty, like, it is just a blur fest. Playing it here. Thank you for playing. Oh, thank you for playing. Alright. Okay, thanks for interrupting what I'm doing. Alright, thanks, Monster Hunter Capcom, for doing that. Alrighty. Blah, 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 blah. Okay, the lobby has opened up. Everybody's happy. Everybody's great. So, obviously, YouTube doesn't support 120 FPS at the current point in time, which is such a bummer, honestly. Like, I'd love to be able to show off where things are, but you can still tell that there's, like, drops and stuff, which is kind of funny. Yeah, it's kind of hilarious. But this is, I just wanted to kind of give you an idea of how it's sort of looking. That's not where I need to go right now. Let me go! Let me be free! Oh, now I'm allowed to go, am I? Okay. So yeah, we'll just take, like, a little look at the valley here, and then we're gonna go to resolution mode, which is actually, I wouldn't say it's faring better in terms of performance, but it's faring better in terms of visual fidelity and performance. Like, this is like muddy soup is what it's called, you know? It's like playing it off the Nintendo Switch. Well, I mean, I don't think this game could run on the Switch. If they did, it would be like... I mean, not the Switch 2, but, you know, the Switch 1. Because it's just like, it's so murky. Okay, so we're gonna return to the title screen because, like, you can't... you can't change it when you're in the game, which is a bit of a bummer. There's going to be HDR support too. Should have console, keyboard, and mouse, which is nice. Very, very nice. You get this like cozy little setup of your character, hang with your pal and your cat in the tent. And you customize your character and your cat. That's why my cat looks like it's dressed for Christmas. I like to think that I dye it so that it matches my aesthetic. Yeah, we're the best of friends anyways. So then we can go over to the settings. We have 120 Hertz output on, but that just allows you to go to 120 FPS, so it's not like, you know what I mean? It's not the biggest. It's not like it's changing the game technically, if that makes sense. Well, I guess without it on, you wouldn't be able to go past 60 FPS, but you get what I'm saying. Prioritize resolution. Okay, let's go to it. And it's going to be more visible. So for prioritizing resolution here, it's like a 4K resolution, you know, and I hope it gets across through the video and the audio that it's like I'm doing quotations with my hands while I'm like, you know, while I'm in the backdrop here. It's like 4K, and it's trying to be 60 FPS, but it's something more like 45 FPS. So I like to think of this mode as like a 40 Hertz mode that's sort of like feels bad to play, kind of, but it's like slightly better. I don't know, it's like a weird thing. It's like, I love the 40 FPS modes. They're one of my favorite things that's popped up this generation, because it's like you sort of get the visuals of a 30 FPS mode, but you don't have the choppy, slow feeling of 30 FPS. So I kind of really appreciate that this exists, personally, that we have, you know, this kind of a mode. I didn't want to jump off the creature. This is terrible for my knees. Terrible on my knees. Do I need to sharpen? I'm just going to make sure my blade's nice and sharp before we go hunt creatures. So, like, it looks... You know, it looks better, for sure. Like, you know, you can kind of see details of your character. Does this game have a photo mode? I'm actually wondering if it has a photo mode in this. Oh, photo mode is blocked out in the beta test? Boo! That's no fun. I want to take some fancy photos. Sure, we'll be taking great photos with all that pisser all over the screen. It's going to be great. I love that PlayStation called it that. One of my favorite things. So, yeah, anyways. You're going around hunting monsters, right? I'm so sorry, my pet creature. My bad. Yeah, you killed this weird native creature on this land there, my, you know, little cat thing. Get back here. I'm not supposed to kill these things, but like I'm trying to do a little bit of practice attacking, so I don't look like a complete failure when I get killed by this mammoth. Enjoy the afterlife, yo.
I gathered some material too. Check your sacred pouch.
Yeah, so you got people helping you. You can also call in for like people to give you an assist, right? That's a thing that happens in this game as well. And you could be like, hey, come and help me, and they'll like battle with you and stuff. And yeah, it's a whole thing. Anyways, let's go try to kill this mammoth. It's not gonna work very well, but we'll try it. Alrighty, let's rumble. So, definitely a better quality, and it's like, yes, having a higher frame rate is nice. It's a little uneven at times, and it can drop pretty aggressively, but like, you know, in an ideal scenario, it's not, like, the worst. The chat Cobra will leave the situation soon, or the area soon. No! So this is a game that's supposed to be played, like, cooperatively, you know what I mean? Like, you're supposed to play with a group of folks, so you can kind of call them in and they'll help you, and that's a big part of the experience, is getting that assist when you're doing stuff. So, yeah, kind of a nice setup that exists, and then you can enjoy that within this game, playing together. It's supposed to be like a bit of a seamless, like, multiplayer type experience, and it's supposed to be like a next mainline Monster Hunter scenario. You go and you hunt these creatures, and then there's like, when you're fighting them, if you don't know, there's like certain parts of the creature that you can focus on, and you can kind of like break it down and actually like take out bits of them and stuff. It's quite a neat setup and concept, honestly. Why would I want to call secret? I'm kind of living my best life. Oh, his buddies just got involved. So that's not good. And then you get different abilities too. Like you have like different thrusts and stuff you can do in order to perform more damage and like be more performant. So that's a big part of the experience. Being able to like pull off these moves and that. And yeah, it's kind of neat. Oh, I'm like gonna die. Is my cat gonna save me? I don't know if I'm gonna be able to get up and use my potion in time. There's also neat sounds being made from the controller, which is kind of cool. I don't know if you hear that at all, but it's like the water and that. Kind of enhances the experience in this. Normally I find it kind of annoying, but I think it works out here. Ugh, unbelievable. Yeah, I'm kind of looking forward to the full version of this, actually seeing what it's like. Because the big issue with the base consoles is it's going to use like FSR, which I don't imagine will look like great. But with the PS5 Pro and having Pisser, I think this is actually going to be a pretty nice looking experience. So very much, you know, looking forward to that. Ugh. Divine Blessing has activated, that's great. But this really is a lot of what this game is just doing these... you know, these move sets and trying to survive and attacking them, and they usually have like little trap things that you can like kind of pull out. If I want to trap it, the terrain, I kind of want to use, oh, it's not good. It's a sandstorm. I wasn't expecting that. Ah. Can we just jump off of this thing really quickly? Because I was wanting to... What I really wanted to do was I have like a large barrel. I kind of wanted to set that up. You know what I mean? Because you could like... kind of trying to get it to trigger it without having to like... you know, kill myself in the process. The thought process was there, but the execution, not great. This is usually why you would call people in to give you a hand. I think I'm doing okay. You can also, like, target specifically. Like I mentioned that, you can target spots and, like, knock it off, but there are, like, more advanced kind of targeting mechanics. And you just, like, you kind of, like, big giant monsters, you just sort of try to wear them down, and you might have to do these, like, extended or, well, elongated kind of scenarios here where you're like, oh, you know, let's fight this thing. Yeah, I want to do the SOS flare if we could, yeah. Or I'll at least chase you down. Do the SOS flare. Oh. The creature is looking a little damaged. I'm wondering if I should use my weight stone right now. See, they can also like kind of help themselves a bit, where they can like, you know, basically like heal up a bit. I don't know, it's kind of a neat game. I sort of like it. At least it's running relatively, like, it's actually not bad on the Pro, honestly. Nice to meet you, random person. I'm fighting all three of these creatures? See, that's the fun of it, is like getting a crew together and then fighting. I want to stealth attack this thing's rear end. It won't let me. I need to do a rear end attack. It's the only way. Nah, I don't want to switch to guns. Well, I don't know, it's kind of cool, but there's like you could have like a gun and like shoot it. Like there's all these different weapons and discipline kind of things you can use to like be able to attack stuff. It's actually quite neat. Like the game's got a lot of depth. You can do traps and stuff to take out different monsters. Actually quite a lot to these games. They're very, very impressive offerings if you've never played the Monster Hunter series. They're quite cool. And it's a beta, so like, I don't think really anything matters specifically, but it's still a fun experience. You know, just kind of getting a feel for it. See, this is the gun. I don't really like the idea of it, but there we go. I don't know why that also calls my creature. Anyways, doesn't matter. We'll get this thing down in no time. See, it's kind of neat. It's actually really cool to see this on the Pro. Like, I played on the base PlayStation 5, and it was like a nightmare. I've also played on Series X, and it's a bit of a nightmare, but pretty good for the Pro, honestly. Like, it's not perfect, but like, it's kind of playable. Sort of reminds me of Dragon's Dogma, too, before they like did all the updates. And yeah, well, not yeah, kind of before they did the updates, right? Or just after some of the first updates where it started improving things a bit. Ugh. Ugh. And then you can do like really intense, like there's usually like thrust attacks. I'm trying to do some different combo attacks, but yeah, you just kind of like break away at it, and then eventually it just dies. At least that's the hope. Ugh. Monster Hunter is a lot of fun, seriously. It's a really, really cool franchise. And there's so many of them as well that exist. Chase him down! Don't let him get away! See, he's definitely taking some damage because you can see all the cuts and the bruises that are building up. Ah, he mounted the creature too, nice. Let's send those rear end attacks. Yeah, this is really quite serviceable in the Pro. I would, like, I know we're getting the Pisser version, so it's going to be even better, but like, this is actually like a fine way to experience this game. Like, seriously, we're just slicing this bad boy up. We've almost got him. He's got his belly up, his stomach. He's struggling. He's like swaying back and forth. Like, I think we're gonna kill this thing soon. We're definitely collecting some fur. It's flailing. Actually, as weird as it sounds, I kind of feel bad for some of the creatures in this game. Because, like, when you really get them injured, they kind of, like, start, like, limping away and stuff. And you kind of feel bad for, like, a big creature that's just trying to live its life and we are, like, destroying it. Like, I guess they're monsters, so we're trying to, like, help the people of the land, but I still sometimes feel kind of bad about it. Especially when they look like more adorable creatures that you could hug. Not this thing. This thing's ugly. It deserves to die, but... You know, some of those big creatures, you're like, oh, yeah, no, it'd be great if this thing, you know, didn't perish. I love how we're even killing, like, the secondary monsters around here. Oh, yeah, we've got this thing. It's dying. Look at this thing. It's being destroyed. Turf wars, battle wars. I mean, I'm being very ineffective at picking places to attack, but we got this thing. That's the fun of Monster Hunting. Cooperative Monster Hunting killing. It's a true pleasure, actually, is what it is. Chase it down! It's running! Don't let it get away! I guess I should call my creature. See, I don't get that. So, it must be like a bug or something, because, like, it makes you change... Well, I guess you need your creature to change your stuff, right? Anyways, doesn't matter. Hunt the monster down! Don't let it escape in the wilds! If your cave isn't safe, giant monster, I don't think coming out here into the storm is going to help you, unless it's psychologically thinking it could run away in the, you know, the storm or something. Or maybe it's trying to find its pack. I don't know. It's hard to understand these monsters sometimes. It's just, it's not easy being a hunter, you know what I'm saying? I'm out here just trying to hunt my heart out, and that's what you get. These other creatures being like, what's going on? Anyways, I'm sure we'll be checking out the full version, so stay tuned for that.